Hello everyone and welcome to Brain Spike. My name's Joe and I'm here to help you out on your journey to knowledge. For returning users, feel free to check out the timestamps I've made down below and go ahead and get started learning. For new users, Brain Spike is an on-the-go learning tool. So if you're looking to study when you're on your way to school or on your way to work, maybe going for a run, going for a walk, Brain Spike is here to help you out with your dynamic lifestyle. So our learning method is as follows. First, I'll give you either a term or a definition, and then there's a pause. Now, this brief silence is not a glitch, it's your moment. So use it to either verbally out loud or mentally to yourself, try to recall the term or definition. Then I'll give you the correct response and we'll repeat. It's a method that's founded on the principle of active recall, which is proven to strengthen synaptic connections in your brain. Compare this to passively reading or passively watching YouTube content, and you've got yourself a simple yet very powerful learning tool here. So with that being said, let's get started. Welcome to Research Methods and Statistics. Basic concepts. A study in which the researcher manipulates one variable and observes the effect on another variable. Experiment. The factor that is changed or manipulated in an experiment to determine its effect on another variable. Independent variable. The outcome that the researcher is trying to explain, which might be influenced by the independent variable. Dependent variable. The participants in an experiment who are exposed to the treatment or version of the independent variable being studied. Experimental group. The participants in an experiment who are not exposed to the treatment version of the independent variable. Control group. A study that observes individuals and measures variables of interest without manipulating the environment or any variables. Observational study. The group that represents the entire population under study. Sample. The entire group about which the researcher wants to draw conclusions. Population. An organized system of assumptions and principles that purport to explain certain phenomena and how they are related. Theory. A testable prediction about the conditions under which an event will occur, often derived from a theory. Hypothesis. A precise description of how a variable has been quantified so that it can be measured. Operational definition. The process of repeating an experiment to verify research findings. Replication. Types of studies and methodology. The degree to which the outcome of a study or experiment can be attributed to the manipulation of the independent variable rather than other factors. Internal validity. The degree to which the results of a study can be generalized to other settings, populations, and times. External validity. The average value in a data set. Mean. The value that appears most frequently in a data set. Mode. The value that separates the highest 50% from the lowest 50% in a data set. Median. The amount of variation or dispersion in a set of values. Variance. The square root of the variance, giving a measure of the amount of variation or dispersion of a set of values. Standard deviation. A type of non-experimental study in which researchers measure two variables and assess the statistical relationship between them with little or no effort to control extraneous variables. Correlational study. A measure of the strength and direction of the relationship between two variables, ranging from -1 to +1. Correlation coefficient. The process of selecting a subset of individuals from your population so that the subset can be used to make inferences about the entire population. Sampling. A study design where neither the participants nor the investigators know which group is receiving the treatment, which reduces bias. Double-blind study. A measure that represents the typical response or the behavior of a group as a whole. Central tendency. A hypothesis test used to determine if there is a significant difference between the means of two groups. T-test. A statistical test used to determine the strength and direction of the linear relationship between two quantitative variables. Regression. The likelihood that a result or relationship is caused by something other than mere random chance. Statistical significance. The likelihood that an event will occur. It is quantified as a number between 0 and 1. Probability. An in-depth look at a single individual or a small group, often involving qualitative data collection methods. Case study. Observing subjects in their natural environment without direct intervention. Naturalistic observation. A technique in which the researcher asks people to report behaviors, feelings, or opinions. Survey. A subset of the population chosen in such a way that each member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. Random sample. A graphical representation of the relationship between two quantitative variables. Scatterplot. The perception of a relationship between variables that does not actually exist. Illusory correlation. A study design where the participants do not know which group they belong to, but the researchers do. Single-blind study. Given to the control group in an experiment to ensure that they believe they are receiving the same treatment as the experimental group. Placebo. A factor or variable other than the ones being studied that, if not controlled, could affect the outcome of an experiment. Confounding variable. A distribution in which scores fall more frequently on one side of the middle value than the other. Skewed distribution. The difference between the highest and lowest scores in a data set. Range. Statistics that summarize and describe a data set. Descriptive statistics. Statistics that allow researchers to draw conclusions about a population based on data from a sample. Inferential statistics. A measure used to determine the significance of research data in hypothesis testing, represents the probability that the observed result occurred by chance alone. P-value. A symmetrical, bell-shaped curve representing a distribution in which most scores are near the mean, with fewer and fewer at extreme values. Normal curve. A statement about whether an observed difference between groups is statistically meaningful or if it's likely due to random chance. Statistical significance. The process by which participants are placed into either the experimental or control group, ensuring each participant has an equal chance of being assigned to any condition. Random assignment. A research design in which each participant is subjected to every condition of the experiment, essentially serving as their own control group. Within subjects design. A research design where different groups of participants are exposed to different conditions, with each participant experiencing only one of the conditions. Between subjects design. All right, everybody, that wraps it up for today's video. I hope you found it useful and valuable. If you'd like to continue learning, feel free to restart the video, or be sure to check out the description down below where I've probably left some links either to delve in deeper into today's topic or just for your own benefit and for your own knowledge. If this is a foundations video, I might have made an advanced version of this topic already. If this is a term recall, I might have already made a definitions recall video, and vice versa. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. I'll be sure to respond. And if you're signing off, well, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.